Bescheid, was meinen Sie? Was meinen Sie? Was meinen Sie? Was meinen Sie? Sie sind unten! Sie sind in Köttermix! Was macht der für Hund? Machen Sie den unten! Machen Sie den unten! Was meinen Sie?
Yeah, but you don't have to go up
I have
to approach people randomly.
No, it's not randomly. If anybody's walking with a dog, have to ask them if it doesn't.
Something against dogs. So we need to go back and see where this comes from. There are some traditions that mention that the Prophet, peace be upon him, ordered dogs to be killed, and then he made an exception only for the
Islamists are rolling into Germany thinking they can bark orders at cops about their K9S being haram and filthy, demanding the dog get removed like it's their turf. But thankfully, dogs don't know how to negotiate. These moments are satisfying as hell, seeing entitlement meet a German shepherd with attitude. Let's start with this resurfaced classic, where an aggressive dude confronts a cop, points at the K9, yells it's haram, dirty, get this filthy dog away. He quotes religious crap like German law cares. The cop manages to stay chill, but good luck telling that to the dog.
Bitte hören Sie auf! Sie können den Hund nicht halten! Was meinen Sie? Was meinen Sie? Was meinen Sie? Was meinen Sie? Sie sind unten! Sie sind in Köttermix! Was macht der für Hund? Machen Sie den unten! Machen Sie den unten! Was meinen Sie? Ich bin weg vom Platz! Ich bin doch weg! Was meinen Sie von mir? Was meinen Sie denn?
The dog, able to sense his hostility immediately, charges forward, and the guy backpedals like his life depends on it. It's hilarious how he called out haram. Tell that to the teeth.
Was machen Sie? Ich hab nichts getan. Ich bin nicht auf dem Platz. Das war mein Deichmann. Machen Sie den Hund weg. Was? Das möchte meine Sicherheit. Bleiben Sie weg von mir. Was machen Sie denn? Und das ist die Polizei. Ich stehe nicht mal beim Deich.
This is peak cultural clash. One side demands Sharia light on public streets. The other side's dog says nah. Love how the K9 enforces respect without a single word. Dogs are sacred in the West. Loyal, protective, part of the culture. You don't get to import rules and override that. Unfortunately, that guy got loud about the impure dog. Demand to be taken away. The officer ignores him while the dog decides it's playtime. Here's the thing. In Germany, police dogs are tools of the state, not negotiable. You yell at an officer? Expect consequences. Now here's what happens when a migrant stops a dog walker and aggressively asks the dumbest possible question you can think of.
Excuse me. What? Excuse me. What's he asking you?
Do I have a poo bag?
Yeah. Have you just picked up poo? What?
I'm an environmental enforcement officer for my
I know who you are,
and my body cam is on for.
Yeah, I'm recording as well.
Yeah. But I ask, does he have a poo bag for the dog?
Yeah.
Because I have to ask if anybody's.
Why do you have to approach people and ask them anything?
Yeah, he's an enforcement officer.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You don't have to go.
I have to
approach people randomly.
No, it's not randomly. If anybody's walking with a dog, have to ask them if did they have a poo bag.
But he doesn't poo outside.
No. Let me explain to you. It's against Environmental Enforcement Protection Act 1990 Section 87. If you're working with the dog, you have to put your bag aside you. That's why I'm asking you, do you have a poo bag for this dog?
But
it's an offense.
Poo at home.
It's not at home. You have to.
So the question is,
Yeah.
you've explained yourself.
Yeah.
They don't need to be approached by you because you're not Manchester City Council.
I work for my,
and you don't need to engage with anyone for any
I work for
reason
Manchester City
to ask them
Council,
questions.
and
You don't need to do that. You need to go and you don't need to. They've not done anything wrong. The dog is fine. It's not weeing or pooing. You do not need to go.
The absurdity of hits early. Here's someone in a Western country where dog ownership is normal and loved, getting grilled like it's a crime. This isn't about hygiene. It's about control. In old Britain or Germany, people walked dogs freely for centuries. It's part of rural and urban life, tied to hunting, companionship, and freedom. Now, with mass migration from cultures where dogs are often seen as unclean, we see this pushy enforcement starting to creep in. It's not just one guy. It's a symptom of how unchecked immigration shifts norms. Locals feel like guests in their own parks.
Of the public.
check your phone now and check.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I know the rules.
No. Can you check?
Why are you approaching females?
Can you check your
Why are
phone
you
now?
approaching
I'm doing my
females?
job. I'm doing my job.
You've not done anything wrong.
If
As an
anybody's working
enforcement,
with dogs,
you can't speak to anyone.
Let me explain to you.
This is
and
the
I will show
maddest
you.
thing. So you're saying you can walk up to anyone and tell people that they need a poo bag for no reason. You can walk up to any lone female on their own, and then you can speak with them and engage conversations to tell them. I don't have. That means nothing to me. So you can go up to women on their own, and you can then engage in a conversation and tell them what they can and can't do.
Yeah, if you are working with dogs, you have to have
This is the maddest stuff I've ever. So you, for no reason, you've walked up to this lady and engaged with this lady and said that she can and can't do, and asking her questions, queries. It's got nothing to do with you. It's got nothing to do. Just walk away. Just walk away. Just walk away. It's got nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you, mate. Nothing. That lady, you don't approach that lady for no reason.
This is pure Jobsworth behavior. And the ridiculous part? This enforcer is likely hired or empowered by local authorities, bending over backward to accommodate minority sensitivities. Germany and the UK have seen similar pushes. Councils floating dog-free zones or stricter rules that disproportionately target dog owners to avoid offending certain groups. Believe it or not, it's a slow erosion. Your Christian-rooted, pet-loving way of life gets chipped away because a small vocal minority demands it. What happened to live and let live? Instead, everyday freedoms get policed to keep the peace with newcomers who won't adapt.
Let me see your badge. Let me see your badge.
Check your phone.
Yeah, it's bullshit. You're a private company. I'm going to go make a complaint about you.
Yeah, it's unlawful to litter the floor with a cigarette. No, it's unlawful.
She hasn't threw a cigarette.
She
hasn't threw a cigarette.
Why
are you following her then? Why are you following her?
Let me explain.
Why are you following her?
It's not about the cigarette. Littering the floor, spitting on the public space.
She didn't spit. She didn't litter.
I'm trying to let.
Yeah, but
wait.
You're not. But
I'm
you're
trying
wrong.
to explain.
There's
to
no
you.
reason for you to engage in that lady.
Yeah, it's just for a sec. Yeah, go on, wrap it.
Yeah. If anybody working with dogs, we patrol guarding as well.
You're allowed to go and engage with people. The police can't go and engage with people, let alone you.
Seriously, it's absurd that in 2026 Europe, a simple dog walk can turn into a criminal standoff. Germany especially has changed fast. Neighborhoods where dogs once roamed parks now see people fleeing at the sight of one. Police K9s get called filthy, streets empty when a big pup appears. This deviation isn't natural progress. It's forced by policies prioritizing integration over preservation. Seeing the dog was scary for him, but comedy for everyone else. If behaviors like this are allowed to thrive, locals will continue to lose pieces of their heritage, such as open spaces and animal companionship, while being told to accommodate. If this keeps up, the West risks becoming unrecognizable. Fewer dogs, more restrictions, all to appease views that see our traditions as problematic.
Go say hi, Shadow.
Take my hand off, is it?
No, he's friendly.
What is it?
Yeah, King Corso.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Italian Mastiff.
Hello. I've only ever had one interaction with one of them, and it wasn't a good one.
Oh.
Alright, bro. What's his name?
Shadow.
Shadow.
Shadow sit.
Shadow, we just
Oh
met
boy.
Hello, pup. Hey, yo, puppy. How old is he?
He's 2 years old.
They get him as a size.
They stopped going at 3 years old.
Stop going at what?
3. And he's only
Stop
2.
going at 3?
Yeah, he's only 2.
No, you can't have that. He's like the most chilled dog I've ever met.
Yeah, no, he is the friendliest. He's got 500.
Now, this one hits differently after the tension. It reminds us what we're fighting for: unapologetic love for dogs as family. In a time when some migrants are pushing anti-dog views, haram fears, impurity rules, etc., clips like this say, no to that surrender.
Instagram. Yeah, we're just trying to show people that there's a lot of people.
Is that what you film for?
Yeah, there's a lot of people scared of big dogs, and we're trying to show that they shouldn't be scared of big dogs. Yeah, I know. Yeah, he is, yeah. You want to pet him?
Shadow?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Shadow, yeah.
Yeah, it
I've
is.
seen him on Instagram, bro.
No way, man.
He's massive, lad, isn't he? What is he, about 90k?
70.
70?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he looks blue, doesn't he? Mad. Really lean, lad, isn't he?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, anytime. Take care. Come on.
Here's how 2 imams in Germany counter dog ownership as pets.
Says, can we keep dog as a pet or for security reasons? As a pet, it is totally prohibited. The Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, that angels do not enter a house where there's a portrait, a statue, or a dog. And he said that whoever...
Britain and Germany built cultures around animals. Working dogs, pets, canine heroes. Seeing a big dog celebrated pushes back against the absurdity of bans or zones. It shows the divide. One side wants restrictions to fit imported norms. The other clings to what's always been normal. And now, another imam speaks, still in objection to dogs.
The first question is about dogs. So this person is around dogs a lot and is wondering what was the Prophet's attitude towards dogs? What are the limits around dealing with dogs? And how should a Muslim woman respond, if they're always around dogs? How should they deal with the situation?
Yeah, so most people get the impression that Muslims somehow have something against dogs. So we need to go back and see where this comes from. There are some traditions that mention that the Prophet, peace be upon him, ordered dogs to be killed, and then he made an exception only for the sheep dog or the guard dog. Or the hunting dog. But if one were to start with things in order, like first we look at the Quran to see if the Quran says anything about dogs, and then we go to the traditions and we put everything together. Well, the Quran actually doesn't say anything negative about dogs. In fact, there is something positive, because in the story of the youth who hid in the cave in the 18th chapter of the Quran, the 18th chapter, we have it that they had a companion, a dog. Many commentators say that this dog will also be in paradise. Now we know that nothing impure or unclean will be in paradise, but this dog will be there. So some will say, okay, but God will make this dog pure, so it'll be in paradise. But nevertheless, the Quran does not show anything negative about the dog and doesn't show that the dog is impure. On the other hand, there is actually a mention in the Quran that the food that is procured for Muslims by means of their hunting animals is permissible to eat. This is specifically mentioned in the 4th verse of the 5th chapter of the Quran. Among the hunting animals, there were dogs at the time. So it is well known that the dog would go hunt the animal, bring it back to the, or at least retrieve the animal that may have been killed by a spear or arrow. The dog would go retrieve it and bring it. So the dog comes with the animal in its mouth. Something that the saliva of the dog is impure.
But this German woman doesn't give 2 cents about that crap. Watch her strolling with a massive 70 kilograms beast through a crowded spot. It looks like Dortmund or a similar migrant-heavy area. Immediately, migrants spot the dog. They scatter like it's Judgment Day.
Hi.
Overall, these aren't isolated. From German K9S lunging at haram demands to UK park hassles. It's a pattern. Mass immigration brings clashing values.
Obviously, the saliva of the dog gets mingled with the meat which it brings to its master. So from the Quranic perspective, there doesn't seem to be anything wrong with dogs, and dogs may be good hunting animals, and the meat that they bring in their mouths are good for Muslims to eat, obviously after washing and so on, as we would treat any other meat. So where does this idea come from that dogs are somehow impure? Well, it could be...
And their saliva is impure as well.
Yes. It could be that at the time there were some dogs which were rabid, and the best way of dealing with that situation to protect the population was to euthanize some dogs. And as the people remembered the tradition, they just remembered that dogs were euthanized without remembering the reason behind it. So it's not mentioned that the dogs were rabid, but that would be a good reason why dogs were euthanized. Otherwise, there'd be no good reason. There doesn't seem to be anything fundamentally wrong with dogs per se. And that's why, obviously, exception was made for the hunting dog and the guard dog and so on, because they perform some useful purposes. Nowadays, we know that dogs perform many more valuable services. You could have a guide dog, for example. A person with no eyes can have the dog as his eyes. And such a person should be allowed to attend the mosque or to...
And guess what? Authorities often side with the newcomers to avoid racism labels, and natives feel alienated in their own lands. The absurdity peaks when dog walking, a harmless, joyful tradition, becomes a serious battleground. Germany once symbolized order and freedom. Now parts feel foreign, with dogs, symbols of loyalty and normalcy, treated as threats. It's time to stop deviating and start reclaiming what's ours.